like
Steven Spielberg presents Back to the Future, a Robert Zemeckis film.
And getting himself into trouble.
Well, it be Fletch. Go ahead. Make
The story of a guy.
Here.
And his bike.
James Bond kind of stuff.
And he's just made a discovery that could wake up the dead. Is your mother about to look younger than you do?
Saw what I saw.
Psychotics are more active when the moon is full.
Somebody's coming!
Or did the butler do it?
No.
Need this rest.
So Jack Chester's taking that lead.
Oh, this is great!
Renting a beach house.
4:15, this is it.
He's got class. Wolf person. Whoa!
They only met once,
I don't want to be alone anymore.
You don't have to be. But it changed their lives forever. It's completely unnatural.
Do you realize it's snowing in my room?
Totally unbelievable.
What's going on?
And definitely weird.
Hi, dudes.
They went from zeros to heroes in one fantastic weekend.
That's so good.
Universal Pictures presents a John Hughes film, Weird Science.
It's purely sexual.
Every time.
you're not even in your seat.
That gets me. Sorry, I'm coming. I know. I'm coming. Woohoo! Yeah. There we go. Sorry, Brandon.
Hello.
Good evening, and welcome back to it's. I don't say the thing. I say I'm Jay Ryan. I'm coming to you from Los Angeles. That's Brandon.
Yes, welcome to a blockbuster year, 1985. Tonight we are talking about the fantastic film Clue, the movie. Let's pop in the tape.
Whew. All right. Now we can settle in.
Jay is seated. We can start the show.
Yeah. Our viewers don't know what's going on here, but I'm very happy to have a wall next to me. It's been a day.
Yeah, let's talk about it. You had a hole in your wall this afternoon. You sent me a video of it.
Yep.
And I'm just glad that it was all patched up and you got the studio back together so we could record tonight.
Yeah. Some of the what would you call them? Acoustic squares are just sort of thumbtacked in for now to keep the illusion alive.
Exactly.
But yeah, there was if you don't know, there was a leak. Our studio somehow was raining on the unit below us, and that's not good for anybody. So we needed to remedy that. But unfortunately, we have a live show for Late Night Play Set here at the original Letterman set on Tuesdays, and so between last night's live show and tonight's live show for a blockbuster year, it was a lot. It's been a lot. It was one of those, you ever take a shower in the afternoon, like halfway through your day because you couldn't do it in the morning or whatever, and everything's just a little bit off?
Yeah, your timing is a little bit different. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, you're clean, but you feel like you have a funk. It's like traveling.
Yeah.
It's like traveling.
Yeah.
And then the first time listening to the Weird Science in the intro, because I wasn't watching, I was just listening, I heard him say, they went from zeros to heroes in one weekend. And that's how I felt with you when we were up in Astoria with the rest of our little gang.
Totally, 100%. We are the heroes.
I'll settle down in a second.
It's all good. Tonight we're talking about the movie Clue. And for the first time we have a guest on a Blockbuster year 1985. This gentleman is a cosplayer. He is a prop builder. He is a podcaster in himself. He's a toy tuber. And most importantly, he's one of my best friends. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Steve3, our first guest to a Blockbuster year.
Nice. And let's see if I can do this right, Steve3. I think I've got this. Oh, jeez. Nope. In case you weren't
Thanks
sure what the name of the show was.
You get your own intro music. It happens to be the same intro music, but a guest get intro music now.
I thought it was different. I got to admit, I thought it was slightly different.
No, it's sorry to burst your bubble. It's the exact same thing.
Well, thanks for having me.
You are special. You are the first guest. I know that you're a big fan of this movie, so I wanted to have you on the show.
Yeah, it was great to watch it again. I do enjoy watching it every time I watch it. I don't seem to get bored of watching it.
No, I feel the exact same way. I mean, it's kind of letting the cat out of the bag at the beginning of the show, but I really think we all would say that we love this movie.
Yeah, I would say it's a strong contender for a top 5. I know you score it at. Yeah, it's yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
And Jay, how do you feel about Clue?
Well, we'll get to the rating at the end, right? But I obviously enjoyed it. I mean, I grew up with it just like, well, I actually grew up with it, maybe more like Steve. Brandon, you're a little bit younger, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I was, what would I be? -7. I was -7 when Clue came out. Actually, I'm -7 for all of these movies we're covering.
That's what I was going to say.
Blanket statement.
It's going to be the same every single episode.
It's always funny to me how Brandon is just so addicted to the older movies of someone that's grown up with other movies of different calibers, how these ones you gravitate to. And I'm sure you've explained before, it's probably to do with how they were made back in the day versus, what you get now, right? So
you want? I think I may have talked about this. I don't know if I actually talked about it on this show, but maybe Jay's other show. I actually credit all of my love for movies and especially these 80s movies to my grandparents. My grandparents actually were people that bought lots of movies. So whenever I went to go visit my grandma's, they always had tons and tons of VHS tapes. So it was always like, okay, we're going to grandma's. Well, what movies am I going to watch? And it got to a point where there was a lot of the same ones that I was watching. My grandma Norma, she had all the Mr. Bean tapes, and I would just watch Mr. Bean on repeat. My grandma Jane had a whole bunch of Disney movies and older movies, and I would just watch them. So that is what led me to love older films, and then it just expanded into I just loved movies growing up. But big part of it was my grandparents, and then even my family. We were a buy movies family. We had a large movie collection growing up, and then now I still maintain that heritage, and I have a large movie collection.
I'll say.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Brandon, by the way. For me, it was my parents were going through a divorce, right, roughly this time or a year or two before, and it seemed like going to the movies with really either parent sort of put a pause on all of that. So, like, the escape of whatever these movies brought me back when I was a kid, I must still tap into that to this day. I mean, that's why we probably got so emotional up at the Goonies. Yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah, it was fun for us all to be together. But for me, it was something deeper.
Oh, it was life. Goonies is life, man.
Yeah.
Goonies is life. It was our growing up. It was our adventure every weekend, right? But we're not talking about that tonight.
Nope.
No, but it is the right air. What about you, Steve? What about your love of movies?
It's hits me in the nostalgia feels, and I feel it's the same way. And a lot of the movies that, for me, it was after the paper round. So I do my paper round on the school holidays, and you get up early and you go and deliver all the papers around the neighborhood, and you come back and you'd be wide awake at the crack of dawn. And then I would just stick on a VHS. I would stick on a movie, and this is where I would relentlessly watch The Cannibal Run or Police Academy or all of these movies that would just stay with me forever until this day. So that was when I did a lot of my watching. But it wasn't so much the whole movie all the way through that gets me. There's certain parts about movie that just makes me want to go out and then get that movie, which is why I'm enjoying going around and getting all the physical media I can now for movies that suddenly come back into my life again and I need them.
Yeah.
So that was a good one for Clue, because a DVD of Clue isn't as good as a 4K rendition of it with all the additional extras, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like, whoa, I caught that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, physical media has always been a huge part of my life, and like we'll get into it, but this home video version of Clue was the first time that people saw all of the multiple endings.
The triple end. But that's what I was going to ask. Actually, was when you first watched it, was obviously going to be on videotape, so you wouldn't have known. You wouldn't have been in the cinema to watch it and just get one ending, because they decided to just do one ending per cinematic release.
Yeah.
In hindsight, that doesn't even sound like a good idea.
Right. Let's say we'll talk about that a little bit later, but let's just do a little bit of production for Clue. So, or we actually let's hit the chat real quick.
Well, I'm just throwing them up there if you don't mind. Just so
Ryan, hi Ryan. Ryan's got a show in a few minutes. He does his own live show on Wednesday nights, Gotham City Tonight.
Of course, we're having
right
now.
Wife likes.
Oh no.
Yeah, no joke. It just, of course, water this morning. Power. Oh, now we're back on, and I don't think we lost the live feed, so maybe the chat can tell us. Hopefully, we're still here. Okay.
I think we're still here.
Okay. Good.
I think we're good.
Oh, good. The wall is back. Yeah, there's somebody who watches both shows. Renee, hi.
Renee, lovely Renee.
Dan McGinnis, peace to you. Oh, you know what? This is not the night for
Barbara.
this, but I watched Ghostbusters 2 the other day, and I realized something for the first time. I don't think they're saying 2 for sequel. I think they're saying peace, as in it's against good versus evil. And it takes the goodwill and the peace at the end.
Well, jot that down for a Blockbuster year 1989.
I'm gonna.
We'll get to that.
Thanks, Brandon, for keeping me in line.
Hi, Renee.
Ryan Dole. Because he's here on the show live.
Yes.
Okay, well, these mostly just hellos.
Great. Thank you, everybody, for being here live. We really appreciate it. It's fun for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Love the new podcast, says Hey Weirdos. Weirdo, you are welcome.
Thank you. They're a local couple. They have a YouTube channel. Check them out.
Ooh, love it.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. I saw that. Actually, Hey Weirdos is going to be a guest on Steve's podcast tomorrow. So we'll make sure we'll plug that at the end of the show.
Sweet.
So let's get into some production stuff real quick. So Clue obviously came out in 1985. It was made by Paramount Pictures. It was originally created, or I guess the idea was brought by producer Deborah Hill. Deborah Hill is very famous for writing and producing the early Halloween movies with John Carpenter. She also did the Escape from New York, Escape from New York, Escape from L.A., and she actually produced Big Top Pee-wee. She was the one who let Paul Rubens have full control for his sequel. And
which, by the way, even though I don't love that movie, I maintain is a good move by her, because he had
100%.
proven himself at that point.
Yes, 100%. Deborah Hill apparently was able to purchase the rights from Parker Brothers for $0 for Clue, which I think is interesting.
$0 up front, and then there was a back end deal.
Yes, there was some back end and stuff.
Obviously, you can tell I got to the documentary today.
Oh yeah. So for those who love the movie Clue, there is I don't know if it's free for everybody or if it's free for YouTube Premium subscribers, but there is a documentary on YouTube called
Not
Who
in
Done It.
U.S. If you're in the U.S., it's unavailable in this country. The link you sent me.
Oh, really?
But
see,
luckily, it was available on Amazon Prime, which we had. So
okay, see, it wasn't available on Amazon Prime for me. So in the U.S., there's a Clue documentary on Amazon Prime, and in Canada, it's available on YouTube. And it's okay. It's a bit amateur, but there's lots of interesting information in it. So it was actually John Landis who was one of the early sort of people to carry the torch from Deborah Hill, and was connected to finding writers and was going to direct Clue. It went through a whole bunch of writers, and it went like a random Anthony Perkins from Psycho, like Norman Bates, took a pass at the Clue script /
Stephen Sondheim, because
with
they were
Stephen
writing partners.
Sondheim. And ultimately, they landed, after a whole set of 5 or so writers, they landed with a bloke from England, jolly old England, Steve, named Jonathan Lynn, who was brought in because he was a playwright, he was a director.
I don't even know if he was a director. The truth, I mean, he was a sitcom writer, as I recall.
Theater director.
Okay.
I mean,
he
but
definitely
he did
done
punch
theater.
up on. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, he done theater, but I think it was her that brought him in as well, and it was her that said that you can get your first role here as a director.
Yeah, so it was John Landis. John Landis ended up giving it to Jonathan Lynn because John Landis left the directing role to go and make Spies Like Us the same year, 1985, and another film we'll eventually cover on this podcast.
Doctor,
and Doctor.
I love it.
And that's why
and Doctor.
And that's why the film has a story by credit from John Landis. He kind of acted as an original idea man, and I don't think he actually has a producing credit.
He does, but I would say this. I think that movie probably still got made because John Landis was attached. I don't know. It wouldn't have been the Clue that we all know if John Landis didn't get it where it got.
Yeah,
I believe.
That for sure. I mean, he was a proven name in 1985.
But it would be very interesting to see what that movie would have been if he directed it, because it would have been
completely different.
Yeah.
And one of the things is I think the theatrical background of Jonathan Lynn really helped
100%.
His direction of the actors in the film, because the movie is so theatrical. Like it ended up, it has been developed into a stage play. The screenplay was developed into a stage play, but there's just something that you can't really teach when it comes to blocking in a big space like that was the Clue set. And he did have to learn like where to place the camera and working with all the department heads, the cinematographer, who we should talk about as well. But a big strong point of the film is blocking out those 6 characters running from room to room and making everything interesting throughout the course of the movie, because in the grand scheme of things, it literally is 6 adults running into each room, running around to different rooms. So that could get boring real quick.
It was go.
Yes.
It was like you mentioned, it is like watching theater live, but in a movie, and it's got that slap and tickle, as I call it. It's like pantomime. It's like theater. It's so well done, and it was because he would rehearse for weeks before he would actually shoot.
Yes, so famously they did rehearse on a version of the set for 2 weeks before they moved to the big fully dressed set to shoot the movie.
We're praising the blocking and all the physicality of it, but simultaneously is immense lines of dialogue.
Yeah,
the monologues that they were having to do, Tim Curry specifically, in the middle of some of this running around stuff, really blew my mind from a performance standpoint of it's a lot to tackle. Big swing, as they say. Big swing.
Yeah, and not to mention that when they were making the movie, the actors and production knew that there was going to be 3 separate endings to this film. So all of the actors are having to play their roles almost like ambiguously,
Yes.
so that it does line up to 3 separate endings where multiple different answers of who killed whom work out. And
this is a good point. This is the first movie with a multiverse, because they all sort of have to live 3 different parallel worlds at the same time. Wow.
And that's the thing. He had to film it so that it would work. But you don't notice that he's doing that. So he had to take out certain characters from certain scenes without you knowing they were gone. Yeah. And I always know this, but every time I watch it for the first time in a while, I forget it. And I still don't notice that character's not there.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
You go back and watch it straight afterwards and you say, holy crap.
Yeah.
Genius, right? That person is not there. And it's almost like they show a clip of them before it cuts. So that they're constantly in your mind of the next scene where they don't even appear. Yeah, it's incredible.
It would be interesting to just watch it right away, and think about that the entire way of watching the movie is trying to see who's in this scene, who's not in this scene, because
doing the math of it all.
Right. and writing it down and tracking and doing the math.
Because with the endings, they didn't even have the same person killing the same person, right?
Yes.
So they had to. I mean, to me, that's genius, and I think he should have got a lot more credit for it. Hence, why it should have had the triple ending. But there you go.
Yeah.
Gosh, you guys are making me rethink. I might have to add a star based on all of this. This is impressive. You're right.
But the dialogue was just. I don't think there was a stale actor. I don't think there was a stale character. I think every character had a very shiny bulb every time they were on the screen, and they're all in the same room.
Yeah.
And I think it was only really Mr. Body who was very flat, but I don't know what his background is. But
one of the other things I learned from the documentary is so Mr. Body is played by Lee Ving, who is the lead singer of the punk band Fear. And that was a Paramount Pictures request.
Wow.
They wanted either Gene Simmons was somebody they talked about. They wanted a musician. They wanted somebody who would bring in a different group of people to the theater. So
they were looking for clicks in today's language. They wanted eyeballs.
Yeah, it's like casting a TikToker in a film now, right?
In my mind, though, it's the weakest. It did not work at all, because even as a kid, I was like, Mr. Body sucks. He's so bad compared to everybody else in the movie, and he's also the only person who is like not of note in any way in my world. Turns out he's a superstar from Fear.
Yes, exactly.
And one of the most classic SNL moments of all time, too.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The only thing I really know Lee Ving from is that Fear performance.
The censored Fear performance, right.
Yes, that ended up getting him banned from the show. And it was under John Belushi's request. He fought hard to get Fear to be a musical act on SNL. So
because he was either friends with him or a big fan or something, right?
He was a fan. John Belushi was a fan of the band. But you're right. Especially compared to every other person in that film, and trust me, we're going to talk about those people because they're incredible.
It's one of the best casts I've ever seen.
Lee Ving really falls flat compared to the incredible talent that they had in this film. And go ahead, Jay.
Well, one other thing about Lee Ving that I didn't know was that another thing that always stuck out to me was he didn't seem to match the voice. And it turns out they did overdub his voice, but why? Anybody know why?
I think it was probably because he didn't enunciate enough. He was probably mumbling all the way through it, Okay. And so
because I don't think it's not his voice. It's not somebody else, is what you're saying. You're just saying he just re-recorded his dialogue is what you picked up on?
Well, I thought in the documentary they said that they dubbed in somebody's voice, somebody who sounded like Joe Mantegna but wasn't Joe Mantegna, was what the documentary said. And then that made sense to me because it never sort of lined up. Why not? It's only glass. I don't know. It didn't come from something. You know what? As a kid, you sense what's inauthentic. And as a kid, it was inauthentic compared to the rest of what was before me.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they had to ADR.
Clean up some of his dialogue.
Well, that would be, at least if it's ADR, then it's probably him versus not another actor.
I'm not sure. You'll have to Google that one.
Yeah. Well, I do remember the Joe Montana bit in the documentary. I forgot what it was in connection to, but I do remember that bit. So maybe I have to revisit that again.
And then, did anybody else ever? I mean, I didn't put it together until watching it as an adult that like Mr. Body is the body. I'm so stupid. and that's never put it together.
But that's directly from the game, right?
Yeah,
that's who dies in the board game. In fact, Jonathan Lynn, the writer and director, the first thing he started with was just the board game, and he wrote an outline of the film, making sure he hit all of the rooms and knew where the secret passages were, and knew that he had to hit every single room in the mansion. And you know, it works. Like it's that's I mean I know we're talking about the actors, but that set is incredible.
Yeah, the house is one of the characters in the movie for me.
100%. Yeah.
A lot of work went into that.
I really honestly always thought it could have been a real house because the richness and the tones of the set were so good that I thought it could have been a real Tudor someplace.
Yeah. Well, we're talking like it is. That movie is fully a set. All of the rooms except for the ballroom. The ballroom is the only room that they couldn't fit on the soundstage, and so they had to go to an actual manor and shoot that Colonel Mustard, Miss Scarlet scene where she's scared that someone is hiding behind the curtain.
Yeah, with the piano in the corner.
Yes, that was an actual location. That was the only room that didn't exist on the set.
Do we know where that was? Someplace local, I'm guessing.
No, but I didn't look into that. But yeah, I bet you that could easily be identified.
Well, the soundstage that they built, the main, I guess, all of the house on was the same soundstage that they used for Rear Window.
Yes, it's Paramount's largest soundstage. So the Alfred Hitchcock film Rear Window famously has like full-scale apartment buildings built in this set. Jimmy Stewart isn't.
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, Jimmy Stewart is famously watching the buildings from across while he's stuck in a wheelchair with his broken leg. And when you look out of Jimmy Stewart's window, there is a full apartment building with a garden, and all this action happens. And it's this incredibly massive soundstage. And so that's the same soundstage. I'm doing it too, Steve. Soundstage. that they built the manor from Clue in.
I worked at Paramount for many, many years on Everybody Hates Chris specifically. We used 17 and 18, and our production offices were in the building in between. It used to be the property building with property and wardrobe. They knocked it all, whatever. They made it into offices and stuff. But while our main set was 17, our main, the school and the house and everything was on 17, we would use 18 all the time for swing sets when there wasn't a big feature in there. And the old school people who worked at Paramount would always talk about how 18 was not only the biggest soundstage on the lot or whatever, but it's the only soundstage, I think in Hollywood, definitely only at Paramount, that has a basement. And the basement was dug out indeed for Rear Window because of those massive sets.
Okay.
And Jimmy Stewart was actually more at street level, but because of the courtyard and everything else, they dug out a basement. To this day, they put a floor back in, and the underside is storage, which we used for all our set dressing and stuff. But a lot of big movies with multi-tiered, like a Goonies. If you want to flood your soundstage, you use the Goonies stage.
Speaking of that, I did misspeak. You're right. It is stage 18 at Paramount. At Warner Brothers, it's stage 16. That's the big stage, and that's where the pirate ship from Goonies. So I did misspeak. Yeah, stage 18.
Oh no, I think
Paramount
you did it right.
Was Clue.
Yeah, I think you did it right, but it was neat to work on that soundstage. And then when we were there, they also used it for Mission Impossible 3 and maybe 4, and Charlie Wilson's War with Tom Hanks. Any big, massive movie, they kind of request it. It's also known from Sunset Boulevard, where the stage door on the side. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille, and the stage door on the side. It's also stage 18.
Yeah, recently at a Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, we got to go into, I cannot remember the number, but it's where they originally shot the first Universal Monster movies, but it also is the T-Rex attack soundstage from Jurassic Park.
Oh, 747, behind the clock tower.
No. This is right down the hill when you're coming on the tram tour, and it's like the first soundstage you see.
On the left, then that's stage 12, and that's the biggest one in Universal.
Yeah, that's
the one.
Right.
Yes,
12
stage 12.
sounds right.
Yes. Yeah, so
that would have been all of the Jurassic Park. Whenever they're in the jungle, they did that all inside,
exactly.
and it was in stage 12, including Back to the Future 2 and 3 used it for the Lion Estates. Out in the middle of the farm with the billboard, they did that all interior on stage 12.
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
When it's raining and Mr. McFly, what's his name, Joe Flaherty comes out. That was when he's coming and approaching from really far away. It's actually a golf cart all the way against the stage wall.
No way!
So that it can be a little smaller.
I've never heard that.
And then when if you look at it again now that I told you, you can totally tell the way the rain falls. This is clearly blacktop indoors.
Yes. As soon as you said that, I can picture it in my mind, and now it feels like a set.
Yeah.
Until I actually thought about it, it feels exterior. But now that I really knowing that it's in a set, I can picture it. It's definitely a set.
Yep.
And that's incredible. Like, Goonies is one thing because they put that huge pirate ship with all the caves around it inside a building, all of the jungle stuff from Jurassic Park inside a building, and then they built this entire manor, this mansion, this New England mansion in this soundstage. It's incredible. And just the playground for these actors, right?
Yeah.
The entranceway was gorgeous. The main front door with the green marble, it was gorgeous.
Yes. Well, and even that driveway was in the soundstage as well, with the dogs and where they park all the cars and
wow.
Yeah.
And you know about the cars, right, Brandon? I'm sure you probably got it in your notes.
What about the cars?
Didn't they color code the cars to the characters' pseudonyms?
Of course.
So Colonel Mustard had a yellow car. Miss Scarlet had a.
Oh, I've never picked up on that. I haven't heard.
That makes so much sense.
And because I love the way they introduced them in the beginning, it was so clever. You automatically just give them their pseudonym straight away.
Yeah,
and it made sense.
But they're not dressed in their colors of their name. But it would it's cool that the cars are.
But the cars were apparently.
Yeah, it's all dark. So I'll have to check that out again.
Yeah, but good point, Gannon Appleby. A very well balanced cast. No one was more important than the rest.
Let's continue to talk about the cast because we've talked about. Unfortunately, don't come after me leaving, but we've talked about the weakest cast member. Let's talk about the best cast member.
Oof! Good luck.
Well, is that in our opinion, Brandon, or?
Sure. I mean, if you have a different opinion, we're going to boot you off this show.
This is tough because it's. I mean. All right, who did the best? Oh, God, what do you? Okay, I say Tim Curry just because of the sheer scale 100%. And amount of work he had to do in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, by far, Tim Curry is the star, the
MVP.
MVP. Kind of what makes this movie break through to the next level because everybody else is great. They all have their own strengths, and I love a lot of them for their own separate things. But the amount of work that Tim Curry had to do in this film, just dialogue, energy, honestly remembering where he was in what ending or leading up to what ending it's incredible. It's something to be celebrated for sure.
It was almost like fight choreography at one point as well, you know, when he's reenacting everything at the end and pulling people down and tripping them up and lifting them up. And it was almost like it was so well done. He was just so energetic with the way he portrayed his character. It's amazing.
And that's why you needed that 2 weeks of rehearsal to nail all of that stuff, to make it like a dance, like fight choreography, right?
I go back to the theater, like you guys were saying. That's, such a theatrical thing to get together and rehearse and block for weeks and weeks and get the camaraderie going with the ensemble, so that everyone, trust falls and all of the, the stuff that you do.
Yeah.
I guess probably features do sometime, but I would say generally they don't allow for the time. And I think it totally pays off, and you get to see it in the movie. Even though they're strangers, they all interplay so well.
Yeah, a film has to request, and it has to be like a director or somebody who wants to rehearse. Like another film that off the top of my head, a more modern one, is the Danny Boyle Steve Jobs movie. All of that was rehearsed, partially because it's like long continuous takes
Right.
For each section of the Steve Jobs life. But a big part of the success and the acting success in that film comes from the rehearsal and the comfortability and the like just being able to like throw away the lines is incredible, especially in something like Clue being so fast paced. You can't jumble over your words, or you can't like cut back and forth as much, right?
I think it was an instruction from the director that there was absolutely no ad-libbing because of the intricate way he had to film it.
Yes.
And everything had to make sense, that they were said, look, no ad-lib.
Yeah.
At all.
And the film is filled with incredible comedians who can come up with great lines. I mean, famously, one did slip through, but that's because it's so funny. It's the Madeline Kahn flames.
I hate her so
much. It's flames on the side of my face.
The
and
crew
that's
from
the only.
The crew from Late Night Place that stayed late so we could watch that last night.
Yeah.
Everybody erupted in laughter at that part. It was it was just explosive because did not expect it, and even I forgot. It was so good. It made me love her so much.
Great about it too is that because it is an improv, it actually is like a departure from the tone of the film up until this point. It sticks out like so much more because it has like a different energy to it.
It's got that not Albert Brooks, the Mel Brooks energy that she would have exhibited in those movies.
Exactly, right. And I think that's part of the reason. Like it's funny, but because it's like a different look and feel, I think that's part of the reason why it's so memorable and sticks out in almost everybody's mind.
There was another scene she did as well where I think they were all shouting at each other or something, and she almost did like Steve Carell's loud noises in Anchorman. She just starts going, ah! She just lets out this sound that makes no sense for anything. Yeah, genius.
Yeah,
she was. So
well,
good.
I mean, is there anything else we want to talk about Tim Curry? Does anybody else have any like?
Well, he wasn't the first choice. That was a thing. It's like they were kind of trying to push certain actors onto him, I believe. I know that he wanted Rowan Atkinson, that you mentioned earlier, Mr. Bean.
Yes.
He wanted Rowan Atkinson, but because no one had ever really worked or even heard of him in the States.
He was obviously more well known at that time in the UK.
Yeah.
And so Clue is obviously 1985. Mr. Bean didn't come out until 1990.
Yeah.
Right. So Rowan Atkinson is known in the UK, but he is not known in America whatsoever. So they
he's
basically
just an actor. He's not Mr. Bean.
Exactly. He's just a comic actor.
For me, he was always Blackadder before he was Mr. Bean.
Yeah. I don't know when Blackadder actually started. And I feel like Blackadder probably had made its way to the States. But I don't think people were watching it, and it wasn't the juggernaut that Mr. Bean was in America. And then the other one that they were talking about was John Cleese.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were talking about John Cleese for the role of Wadsworth, which could have worked. I don't think it's quite the same, but it could have worked.
Yeah, it would have been great. Just a different movie again.
Yes, I think he would have been a lot more. He probably would have played it like a lot more pompous. John Cleese is. I mean, I guess it's Fawlty Towers, right?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Basil Fawlty.
Basil Fawlty. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I mean, he's wearing a very similar cut suit in Fawlty Towers as well. So I guess you could picture Basil Fawlty running around the Clue Manor.
Yeah, but. I mean, I just can't.
No, I know.
It's probably my favorite Tim Curry performance, and I know that other people would disagree with that, but I just think he did such good work in it. And the fact that it's not really a character, you can't rely on the makeup and whatever else.
Yeah.
Like some of the other.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess we should just to put it out there. Tim Curry did play Pennywise the Clown in It. He's another film we'll cover this year, Legend. He plays Darkness, aka Satan. Both of those.
I think of Frankfurter.
Oh yeah, I guess obviously
sexy
most people probably
transvestite in Transylvania.
Yes, sweet transvestite.
That's what it is, sweet transvestite.
And then, I mean, I grew up with Tim Curry in Home Alone 2. That was every year as the hotel, I guess he's a manager or maybe he's concierge. But that's what I kind of knew Tim Curry as a child. Then discovering Clue.
Now you've given me a reason to watch Home Alone 2.
Exactly. Exactly. And Clue became my favorite Tim Curry movie after watching it for the first time. And he really is incredible. He is a champion at the end of this movie, running around explaining all of his deductions, explaining who killed who.
Yeah.
That was such a good one. I had that one written down on my highlights of
There are a couple that one and what was the when everybody else said too late. Make a long story short, too late.
Yeah, too late.
Good ones.
Yeah. right at the beginning, there's that great moment with him and Michael McKean where he's like, "Sit."
Yeah.
Not you, sir.
No, I don't know. Take it back to the beginning, and it's the dog poop on the shoe.
Yes,
that lasted all the way through the first hour of the movie.
Yes,
it was so good.
When everybody is checking their shoes and they're just smelling dog poop. It's so great. Tim Curry is an absolute legend. He is an incredible actor, and he himself has suffered some strokes. He's in a wheelchair now. But he's still with us. He's done conventions in the past, and he's just a real treat.
He did Monsterpalooza this year, or he's doing some of Monsterpalooza. Yeah, wow. He was a guest this year.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
an absolute legend, and I love the man. Like he's so great in everything that he does.
What's up, Dustin?
Hey, Dustin. Should we move to Madeline Kahn? Because we were kind of talking about Madeline Kahn and the Flames moment. Madeline Kahn plays... Oh, there you go.
Perfect timing.
Kahn was perfect. Gannon says, Kahn was perfect. Quiet but boisterous per usual. So Madeline Kahn plays Mrs. White. She has the famous flames on the side of her face moment. Madeline Kahn, I believe, is probably most famous from appearing in the Mel Brooks movies. That's where I knew her from.
For me too.
Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, High Anxiety. Anything else? Oh yeah, History of the World. Yes. Oh yeah. I have to revisit that one. I haven't seen that one in a long time.
Same.
And she's incredible. Like she is very, I don't know, like subdued, but just a hilarious woman.
In the documentary, Michael McKean describes her as slightly absent-minded, but she knew that about herself and loved that about herself, so she used it to her advantage, and that sounds like a lot of lovable people I know in my life.
Yeah. She has a great, like, what's that word? They call it like a repartee, like
repertoire? That's not the right word.
But she has that like that bout with is it Colonel Mustard when he's like, how many husbands have you had? Mine or other women?
Mine or other people.
She's just so straight-faced all the time.
Yeah.
So straight-faced.
Yeah. She's incredible, and like it's just she is. If she was the only person in amongst the cast, she would stand out. But she is with all these incredible performers. Any other thoughts on Madeline Kahn? Because we got a lot of great people to go through. So I don't want to spend too much time on everybody.
Yeah, I found her delightful as usual.
Yeah, and Mrs. White wears black, but again, that is because all of the characters are their pseudonyms.
But what car did she arrive in, Brandon?
See, I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention. I was too excited about getting into Clue and everyone.
In the documentary, they talked to the wardrobe guy, the costume supervisor, who said that they weren't allowed to match the colors to the names. So what he did was tried to match sort of like the character's tone to the wardrobe. And so I think that's probably why Mrs. White was in black for sure.
Yeah,
And he mentioned
Madeline
Mrs.
Kahn,
Scarlet specifically because she's in green instead of red, but somehow there's still the same richness and I don't know. I think they did a really good job with the wardrobe, specifically like Mrs. Peacock, the feathers in the hair. Even though they weren't peacock feathers, it just kind of it went so well with Eileen Brennan's performance.
Yeah,
another classic.
Madeline Kahn did say that when she got her costume, she felt like Judy Garland. And it inspired her to play kind of that like Judy Garland, like
that explains a little more the doe-eyed aloofness too.
Yes.
Huh.
Well, you mentioned Eileen Brennan, who plays Mrs. Peacock, a legend of cinema.
She, I think, delivers one of the other best performances in it, even though she annoyed the crap out of me as a kid. Even now, she's so stinking good in the movie.
Yeah. She is probably most famous from The Sting or Private Benjamin.
Private Benjamin.
Yeah. One of the interesting things because I don't really know Eileen Brennan that much, but one of the interesting things that I found is that she is in 2 other murder mystery films. I pulled them because I own them.
One of them is one of my all-time favorite movies, Murder by Death, which I knew before Clue. And I always thought Clue was sort of an homage to Murder by Death, not the Parker Brothers game, which I didn't realize. I love that movie with a passion because it's the same formula as this one. You get a bunch of ginormous, insanely talented people in a room together and just watch the magic happen. And it's the same kind of old house. Brandon, I know it's not 85, but I would love to watch that movie and review it with you somehow.
1976, when we do that year, we can do Murder by Death.
Sweet.
But Eileen Brennan also appears in this other detective film, The Cheap Detective.
So they're both in it together.
Himself?
Yes, both Peter Falk and Eileen Brennan are in this movie. They are both written by Neil Simon, and they are both directed by Robert Moore.
Yep.
So I just think it's interesting that Eileen Brennan also is in Clue. Like that could not have been that wasn't lost on the filmmakers.
No, I think that was adding credibility to their project. Like,
so
we're already used to seeing this person in this environment. You'll go along with it.
I haven't seen either of these films, but I'm looking forward to checking them out.
What?
I got a lot of movies, Jay.
Yeah,
I got a lot of movies to watch.
A lot of movies and a lot of goats.
Yeah. I don't know if people know that. I do have goats. I live on a farm, and I have 45 wonderful goats.
That's the right amount of goats. Justin says Cleese would have done just as good, but in a different way. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's a completely different attitude.
I think it would have been more chaotic. It would have been more crazy chaotic, whereas I feel we've had a calm chaotic.
Yeah.
So this is what I was going to bring this up too. The John Cleese role in Rat Race, the remake of Mad World. That's sort of what I was picturing.
Yeah, I think John Cleese maybe would have yelled a little bit more. He has got a good comedy yell.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have pulled off that no as well. It would have been different.
Exactly. No.
The charisma's not quite the same. Tim Curry's
No.
charisma is just priceless.
No.
Priceless.
Well, moving on to the next superstar and incredible cast member in this film, we have Christopher Lloyd.
Never heard of him.
Christopher Lloyd. He's a little known actor.
Handsy doctor.
He is
Lloyd,
very handsy.
Yes. Christopher Lloyd had a small film in 1985 called Back to the Future. I believe it's the number one film of 1985 or something, if I'm remembering correctly, which came out in the summer of 1985. So Clue came out December 13th, 1985. So Christopher Lloyd is like he's on the top of the world. His movie is the biggest movie of all time.
And that was the biggest thing he'd done yet, right? Because some of his other previous things, he wore makeup, like in Star Trek.
Yeah. And I believe he was still on Taxi.
Oh, of course, there was Taxi. Yeah, of course.
I'm curious.
Jonathan Lynn didn't know who he was.
Taxi would have been done by 85, I think. Because Cheers was already on the air in 82.
Oh, 83.
Yeah.
78 to 83. Okay, so Taxi was off the air. But Taxi was another super popular show, and he was a fan favorite character, Reverend Jim.
Jim Ignatowski, absolutely.
Ignatowski.
Okay, doke.
What does a yellow light mean?
That is one of the all-time best comedy moments of all comedy.
If people have not seen the Taxi, Christopher Lloyd yellow light moment,
Jim gets his driver's license on Taxi.
Yes, do yourself a favor and watch the clip on YouTube. It is one of the funniest moments in television history. Totally. He is so good. The cast is so good in that show, but in that moment specifically, Tony Danza.
He's so good, but everybody else, Tony and Jeff Conway, and like those, and Mary Lou Henner. No, Mary Lou Retton. No, who is that? Mary
Lou Henner.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
and why am I forgetting the older actor's name?
Judd Hirsch.
Judd Hirsch. Yes.
Yeah. So good. So good. Yeah. Such a great moment in comedy.
Do yourself a favor and look up the Taxi Reverend Jim driver's license scene. Incredible. But I mean, Christopher Lloyd, he's not the crazy Doc Brown in this movie. He is also very low key, subdued.
He is a doctor.
When I was watching this, all I could think. Right before the show, I was showing some pictures to a crew member on Late Night Playset in the green room. We were looking at Yellow Car. I was on the Grand Tour, and we were at Waveney Park for Caffeine and Carburetors. This is long, but it all makes sense. It's at this huge old mansion in New Canaan, Connecticut, basically exactly where this story takes place, in the same kind of house that this story Clue takes place in, old-fashioned Tudor. Waveney Park, New Canaan, Connecticut. Look it up. You can see a picture of the house. I was doing an event with Christopher Lloyd. At some point, it was a Back to the Future event many, many years ago, and I was talking to his wife. Oh, where are you from? I'm from. Oh, I'm from the same area. Oh, Chris grew up in New Canaan. Oh, where? She said, do you know Waveney Park? I said, yeah, of course. I used to ride my bike through it on the way to the Y every day. And she said, okay, well, that's it. And I said, what are you talking about? She said, that was Chris's house. And I go, what are you talking about? And she goes, Waveney Park. That's Chris's childhood home. That's where he grew up. And I was like, the mansion?
Yeah.
And she said, yeah. Christopher Lloyd grew up in a house that is exactly like the Clue house. So when he was wandering around, he probably felt quite at home. I didn't know until this conversation where then Chris came over and explained that he's from oil money.
Oh, wow. I'd never heard
that. His family was insanely wealthy and he did not need to act. So the fact that he applied himself and worked so hard to be one of the best actors of our time, in my opinion, was always very impressive to me. But watching Clue, all I could think of was, this guy's right at home.
Yeah.
That was a long way to go, but I'm going to find a picture of Waveney to show you.
Okay, well, let's... again, like, there's so many incredible people. I feel like we're, like, shortchanging these people because it's not like, Brewster's Millions, our last episode, we really only had John Candy and Richard Pryor to explore.
Yeah.
But the list goes on. I mean, the next person on my list is Michael McKean. Michael McKean plays Mr. Green, and I mean, everybody knows Michael McKean from This Is Spinal Tap.
Right? I didn't do it.
He's also in the other A Mighty Wind, Best in Show. What else do I have written down here? Coneheads. I always remember him as the police officer in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's one scene. It's one scene, but
for the road.
He's very memorable. This is a film I've never seen, Jay, but I know we will cover it. But Daryl,
dude, I love Daryl so much. You're gonna love Daryl. It's such a great movie.
I can't wait to see Daryl. I've only seen the cover.
There are actually a couple people from Clue in it. Colleen Camp's in it as well.
Yes.
Who played Yvette in Clue. Well, she's never stopped acting. I think she's still alive and still working today. But most recently, I remember her in Entourage. When it doesn't matter. I remember her from Entourage. Look her up if you don't.
But I mean, like, this is another person who has just has their own legend status. Oh, I can't not mention Better Call Saul. Michael McKean
Of course.
plays Bob Odenkirk's brother in Better Call Saul, the prequel show to Breaking Bad, and he is amazing in that show. Like, Bob Odenkirk is fantastic, you know, obviously a much more dramatic role, but Michael McKean is also surprising in seemingly, I would say, a even more dramatic role as Jimmy's brother.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
Bob
He was
Hope-
also dealing with all that neurosis stuff too, and his OCD and everything.
Yes. I mean, Better Call Saul is an incredible show in its own right, with it not being connected to Breaking Bad. But Michael McKean is so good in Better Call Saul.
So in all the documentaries and behind the scenes things that you've watched for this episode, was it him that ad-libbed the last line that we get from him? Or do you, because the director says he doesn't remember it being ad-libbed. He remembers writing it, but he can't remember whether or not he wrote it because it was so good.
That's exactly right. It's the director and writer of the film, Jonathan Lynn, believes that it was written in the script. Michael McKean says that he improvised I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife.
My last note on here was strong finish. Because it really, at the, you know, the third thing, by the time you're on the third ending, you're kind of like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say over it, but you're ready for the next thing to move on.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's such a strong finish. And then you're just credits and we're done. And you leave so satisfied.
Freeze frame.
Satisfied.
Yeah.
Freeze frame in credits.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And
like
you can
only
see
the
them
80s
all
could do.
cracking up from it. But that's what I loved about the thing all the
this
way
is that
through.
mansion?
Oh yeah.
Holy smokes.
Right?
It looks like somewhere you'd go to eat on a golf course.
Exactly.
Holy smokes. And that's where Christopher Lloyd grew up.
Yeah. So it's basically
Wow.
the Clue House, right?
Yeah, totally.
Wow. That's
Probably had his
incredible.
own Wadsworth.
Right.
But all the way through the movie, his character was always caught with one of the dead, or the people that have been killed.
Yeah.
And he would always say, I didn't do it. I didn't do it, all the way through the movie.
Yeah.
And again, that ending, he says, I told you I didn't do it. At the time he reveals himself, which I love as well.
Yeah.
It was so good.
And it is one of the moments in the movie that maybe ages it a little bit. I mean, the movie is set in 1954, and he's being blackmailed for being gay and working in the State Department. It turns out at the end of one of the endings, he works for the FBI and he's been undercover. So I guess,
And that's why J. Edgar Hoover was calling.
Yes. So I guess he's not gay. I don't know.
Well, this is
Well,
what
that's
he
its
says.
own that's its own comedy because J. Edgar Hoover was a cross-dresser, well known too. So,
Oh, really? I've never heard that before.
what?
No.
Look it up, everybody. This is not how rumors start. This is like a known thing.
That history may have been erased.
I don't know. I've never heard that.
What?
So he
never.
also drops the clue line. I shot the butler
Yes.
in the hallway with the revolver, and
That's a
then
great
peace out with I'm going. Yeah, it was great.
I'm
You're
just
right.
Googling here, and I Googled J. Edgar Hoover, and the first result is cross-dressing. I'm not the only one. The truth about where did the idea? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about here. Well, yeah, I think I think that's real.
Didn't they use Hoover's furniture as the set deck? Is that something I read somewhere when I've?
I didn't.
No, it wasn't Hoover. It wasn't Hoover. It was one of the It was one of the presidents, and I can't remember which one now. They used one of the past presidents' furniture as set deck, and I can't remember which one it was now.
Because it fits so well in the mansion.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah. I remember that as a fact. You'll have to look it up.
The moment that I always think about Michael McKean too is they're all back in the study and everybody is like sitting down, and he has this moment where he's like trying to sit down and he keeps getting like blocked by somebody else taking the spot, and he ends up like spinning around and making his way all the way around the living room, and then I think he that's when he like goes and like leans on the table in the back, and then the table breaks. Great, like physical comedy.
Yep. It was like a subway scene, like somebody trying to find a seat on the subway, and then just all the seats get taken.
Oh, and the bit I always love is after Wadsworth is using Mr. Green as the example, running around saying, And then they killed Mr. Body and put him in the bathroom, and he throws Mr. Green in the bathroom and closes the door. And then you hear a toilet flush sound, and then he comes out of the bathroom
washing his hands.
It's such... And then he like throws the paper towel at, I can't remember who he throws it at, but it's like, it's a really great, like,
but again, in that bathroom as well, the doorway, the entrance to the bathroom is again when he starts shouting and says, "Okay, I am shouting," and he gets all of, and then whatever the candlestick or whatever's above the door just falls down and hits him on the head.
Yes,
as well. Pure slapstick.
Yeah, and like that's the energy of the movie, is like this running and then bits and then a quick exchange of jokes, and like a big, I think, success of the movie's comedy is strictly just people's reactions and the timing of their reactions, because a lot of the time it's not necessarily jokes. Like, we use the example, like Madeline Kahn has a joke when she's talking about like how many people she's slept or how many husbands she's slept with. Like, that's a joke. But a lot of the comedy just comes from all of these people's reactions and the pace that these people are delivering dialogue and reacting to each other.
The pace was great. The writing was tight, and you're right. It's strangely slapstick in times, because it starts like it's seemingly going to be a more serious movie than it is.
Yeah. Well, in one of the whatever ending it is, I think it's ending I guess it's the point before the endings switch. Wadsworth is like throwing Michael McKean, Mr. Green, all over. He's representing Mr. Body dying in the study, and then pulls him out into the hall, and then takes him into the bath. Like, he's throwing Michael McKean everywhere, right? Will you stop it? Right? It's just, it's incredible. It's a dance.
Yeah. The choreography is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons the movie works, I think.
Yeah.
Totally. Anything else on Michael McKean?
Hello. I just love him so much.
Yes.
Clue is certainly one of the best movies based on a board game, but it's no Ouija shark.
Don't forget about Battleship, hey weirdos.
Such a tragic character in Better Call Saul. Yeah,
game.
Totally.
Yeah.
Laverne and Shirley. Hello. Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's move on to Martin Mull, Colonel Mustard. He has his own sense of humor in the film. I think he's not as high. He's not as high energy as the other characters. Martin Mull is a person that before Clue, the only thing I really knew Martin Mull from was Jingle All the Way.
Oh, no Roseanne for you?
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I never watched Roseanne. I watched a little bit of Sabrina. I remember him from Sabrina growing up, the Teenage Witch. But he was always, Jingle All the Way is one of my favorite movies, unironically, ever. I love that movie so much. I watched it so much as a child. So he's the radio DJ in Jingle All the Way, and then he's Colonel Mustard. Like, that's what he is to me growing up, is Clue and Jingle All the Way.
Watching it last night, he was one of my favorite characters. I enjoyed the subtle nuances to his performance.
Yeah. He's got a great physical bit where he's looking around the kitchen and he spots a cabinet. Like, it's masterful. The way he's like looking around the kitchen, you clock him catching the cabinet and going over to open it, and he opens it so fast, and the ironing board falls and hits him right in the head. But
it's at like Peter Griffin speed. It's like faster than human rate of speed, the way he opens it and it hits him.
Yeah, exactly.
Cartoon
it's like a
sped
cartoon.
up.
Totally. Yeah. It comes out at him so fast. But
he just stays there, and it just...
It is...
He holds the position.
Perfect.
It's great.
It is a perfect physical comedy bit, and could easily be an example in like a master class of showing somebody physical comedy. Just the timing that he takes to look at the cupboard and inquisitively think, I'm going to investigate, and no dialogue. Like, he's doing all of this with his face and his eyes, and then the payoff is he opens it so fast to try to like surprise whoever is hiding in that cabinet, and ironing board comes and hits him so hard so fast.
But what about the cook? Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if that was a real body that they were dragging around or if it was a dummy of some sort. Because they were when they bring her into the study and drop her on her face, holding her legs, you're like, wow, is that actually the lady that's playing the character?
I think it is the actress. Yeah.
Wow.
I really do.
Yeah, she got manhandled.
There was a lot of Weekend at Bernie's in this movie, I noticed too.
Yeah.
You know, with the dead bodies and all.
The making out in front of the cop.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's nothing illegal about any of this. Just having a good time.
Yeah, Mrs. Peacock is hiding behind the curtains with her arms around the ship.
Holding the eyes open.
Yes, and Colonel. I think Colonel Mustard is holding the eyes open of the ship.
So good.
What is the? Oh, I wrote it down because it's one of my favorite bits with the I think it's Mr. Green or takes him into the study where all of this is happening. They're pretending to be making out with the dead bodies. And the officer says, like, there's nothing illegal about any of this. And then Mr. Green says, are you sure? And it's like, it's such a great little bit. I feel like, Martin Mull, I have to shout out Arrested Development. If you guys are
my
Arrested
gosh,
Development
of
fans.
course, I forgot the Private Eye.
Yes, Gene Parmesan.
Oh, wow.
Classic Martin Mull.
I always liked that so much because of how the mom would react. She would scream every time,
Jessica Walters. Yeah. So excited every single time.
I like the awkward silence after. I think he told them he came into his money through an inheritance when he lost his mummy and daddy. And he does the line "mummy and daddy," and they all stop and look at each other. And that's it, just an awkward silence.
Yeah.
That bit cracked me up.
Well, and that's another example of like he brings a different sense of humor to the film because he's not doing the Tim Curry fast talking, taking control of everything. He's not doing the Michael McKean like can't find a seat. He's not doing the sort of aloof thing that Madeline Kahn is doing. He brings a different flavor, mustard in this case, to the film.
But the thing is, they all do, and that's what's so beautiful about this movie is every single one of them has their own style and personality that works.
Yeah,
and I think that's why this movie works so well.
Yeah, Leslie Ann Warren plays Miss Scarlet, and she's incredible.
I was taken with how much I liked her performance last night. I mean, she's beautiful, she's sexy, of course, but she's so dryly funny, and the Watch It Buster and all that. I mean, just there's so much good stuff. And how she, Christopher Lloyd palms her butt in the beginning, and she just gives him a look. She doesn't even swat his hand away or anything. It kind of, lets you know what her character's going to be.
All the way through, his hands are just on her butt, and she's always giving him that look. Even when they run into the kitchen to find the cook.
Yeah, you're
on the way in. You can see her look around and like, there he is again. But that was his character. That's why he was disbarred.
He was being blackmailed for sleeping with a patient.
Yeah.
At some point, she explains who she is and that she's sort of the Hollywood madam of the time and whatever, the New England madam of the time. And he just comes over, gets his little notebook. He goes, "What's the number?"
Yes, I know. Yeah.
And again, when you watch it back again straight away, you see the way that they all react to each other when they first see each other the first time. But you don't pick up on any of that, and that's what's so genius about it.
The ones who recognize each other and the ones who pretend not to.
Yeah, especially Yvette and Mrs. White. When they first clock eyes, there's such a hatred there. And then when Yvette's she's trying to dish out the brandy, which again, watching this movie made me crave brandy. But when they're giving out the brandy in the glasses, she goes up to Mrs. White, they look at each other, and she just avoids her and walks around her.
Another time, the whole room started laughing out loud, and it was just a physical joke, but I think I liked it as a kid, too, was when Colonel Mustard wants a drink, so he pours himself a brandy or a cognac or whatever it is. And then he goes, "Anybody else want a drink?" And they all say yes, so he just kind of over 3
Slops
glasses.
in every, yeah. And they're all just picking up their glasses and they're dripping off the end and wiping their fingers.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything, and I don't even know if it was written or if he just did it, but it always tickled me as a kid, and then the whole room all laughed at it the other day, too.
Yeah, I mean, this movie is chocked full of bits. It is wall-to-wall energy, wall-to-wall bits, and it is a rockin' good time.
Yeah. I could understand. It was like a cartoon to me where like it was clearly written for adults, but there was so much stuff for the kids to laugh at and to latch on to that it was probably like good for the whole family, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, I mean,
much
when
like
I was
a Parker
watching
Brothers board game.
Exactly. When I was watching it younger, it was just the energy that was always brought me back to it. Mm-hmm. You know, there's lots of stuff that like I don't even remember the lines of dialogue specifically, and it is kind of a hard movie to quote because everything's so fast and it's a call and response a lot of the time. But the energy of the movie, the pacing of it, the how much fun it is to ride, like movies as a ride, to start, learn all the information, and then take it through to the end. It's always the thing that's what's kind of brought me back to Clue every single time.
And the score works for it too, perfectly.
Yeah, we haven't even really touched on it. I mean, we're not finished the actors, but the score is so bouncy and fun and mysterious, and it's got it's got everything that it needs, and it's a great movie.
I agree with the score, but the running around music is still my favorite. I love all that.
And I know we were picking on Mr. Body for not being, the best.
Sorry,
presence,
Mr. Body.
But his run was terrible. Did you not notice that? When he runs to the conservatory, his arms are hanging down. He doesn't move.
He's a punk rocker, dude. He doesn't have to run. He's a fighter.
In the documentary, the director talked about how he's like, look, I gave the pop star the smallest role you could give a pop star.
That was Jonathan Lynn's diplomatic answer in talking about Paramount having to cast or forcing him to cast Lee Ving.
Yeah, and when you said request before, I think it was a little more mandatory than just request.
Yeah,
it was like a stipulation.
Yes.
Yeah, they were voluntold.
The other interesting thing related to Miss Scarlet is that it was actually originally cast as Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, that was news to me. I didn't know that.
And Carrie Fisher was Miss Scarlet right up until rehearsals. And she didn't show up for the first bout of rehearsals. And she called Jonathan Lynn and said that she was in rehab for drug addiction. But she was going to still do the movie because she'll come out during the day. She just has to go back to rehab at night. And everybody was on board. And it just...
Not the studio.
Except for the insurance company who was like, we're not going to bond her. You can't bond somebody like that.
The studio head was on board, but yes, insurance was the reason why they had to recast Carrie Fisher with Leslie Ann Warren.
And I'm thinking that no matter what the true story is, this is the story that everybody will stick by.
Yes.
Yeah, it was fine with all of us, but the insurance company said no.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
And I think Carrie Fisher would have been good. For some reason, I imagine Carrie Fisher more as a Mrs. White, though, as opposed to a Miss Scarlet.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. Did anybody see The Burbs? I love The Burbs so much. And she was Tom Hanks' wife in The Burbs.
Yes,
and I just
love it.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, though, when you think about it, she was just coming off of Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah, 1983.
So she would have filled that role of the sexy, flirtatious, but very clever person that Scarlett is. I think she would have fitted it.
Yeah, she now that you say that, I can see her at the end, at her ending when Miss Scarlet has revealed the revolver and I did it for this. I can see Carrie Fisher delivering all of that wonderfully.
I tend to agree with Steve on that one. Like, she was so sexy is not just the right word. There's some sort of energy with her at the time. And I think that we're attaching to the tragedy of Carrie Fisher, thinking like, oh yes, well, she'd probably be better off as Mrs. White. But I mean, I'm new to the Star Wars movies, but I was taken with her in the first two.
Yeah, and I think that was her whole life, right? Is that everybody? It sounds terrible when you say everybody wanted her, but she was the she was the sex symbol at the time after that point, and I think that's what Miss Scarlet is. It's the you look but don't touch, you know,
Yeah.
and that flirtatious kind of, you know, you want it but you're not going to get it type.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think of Leslie Ann Warren. I think of Clue almost every time. What else would we know her?
I have Victor and Victoria.
Oh, of course. Yep.
Yeah. But again, honestly, Leslie Ann Warren, Clue is the movie that I know her from. Desperate Housewives, but I never watched that. She was only on a couple episodes of that.
That's hilarious. That's the street from Burbs. That's funny.
Yes. Yeah, true. Exactly.
Colonial Street.
Yes. Wisteria Lane. And then we got Colleen Camp, who plays Yvette.
Most changed since graduation, Colleen Camp.
Yeah.
And again, such amazing lines in the movie that just make us remember her character so much, right?
Yeah.
So, I didn't remember as a kid her dropping the accent when she comes into the room.
Yeah.
I was taken with that last night. I was like, oh my gosh. So who do you think she was talking to? Who was the male voice?
I watched that scene 3 times because I think that they use 2 voices to throw you off.
2 different male voices.
Yes, I think that there is 2 voices that say each line of dialogue.
And I gotta check that out.
I was trying to see if I could figure out who the voice
I landed with Tim Curry, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I have now that I have all these notes, I actually do want to watch the movie again because I've written down all the breakdowns of the endings and everything just to process it for this show. But I definitely think I want to rewatch it again with all of this in mind.
Out of the 3 endings we had Miss Scarlet, and who else? Who
Mrs.
else
Peacock.
was So it was 2 women and 1 guy.
Well, ending C, famously, everybody kills everybody.
Right. So then, who would it? Was she talking to the murderer at this point, or was she just talking to somebody? I mean, obviously she gets killed, right? So
that is the hard part about discussing this movie. I think is it is very dense, and because we have the multiple endings, it's really hard to kind of.
But I think I can help there. If this film was filmed for the multiple endings and every scene was methodically put out there to work, then that would mean it would be Tim Curry because he was the 4th one that wasn't used. He was the murderer. So if that is the case, then that would make sense why that was the voice we hear. Because the 4th one wasn't used. They didn't like it. And that was supposed to be Tim Curry.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of alluded to these multiple endings. Because again, we have not even finished the main cast of this movie. It is insane. It's unbelievable.
Hour and 20 in already.
You know, and I don't really think we need to worry about the plot. We've kind of hit most of the plot. Plus, honestly, if you haven't seen Clue, go check out Clue.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't put the spoiler alert up at the beginning of the show.
We've officially decided that these movies are 40 years old.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you guys on that, 100%.
We're discussing these movies, no spoiler warning whatsoever. Sorry, but what were we talking? So we haven't really talked about the endings, but the 3 multiple endings. The first one is Mrs. Scarlet is kind of the mastermind, and she's kind of done all the murders. Ending B is Mrs. Peacock did all the murders, and then ending C is everybody committed a murder, and then Wadsworth is actually Mr. Body, and he's blackmailing everybody. Then Mr. Green is the FBI agent. But what Steve was alluding to is there was a 4th ending that they shot where Wadsworth poisoned everybody. Wadsworth committed all the murders, I believe. And then they all are like, well, we're witnesses to these murders. And he says, well, no, because you're all going to die in the next 3 minutes because I poisoned you. And there's no antidote.
It's a little dark for a family board game.
Yeah.
Nobody gets out alive.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't remember what we were talking about. I'm so lost. There's been so much all over the place in this.
Oh, we were talking about the mystery voice in the room before.
Oh, that's right.
Killed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see the point that you're saying is that it potentially is Wadsworth, but I am definitely going to rewatch Clue, just with all of this discussion in my head, because I think it will make the movie different for me watching it again right away.
Well, you'll be a little detective. You've got your little clues to go find now. Yeah. Let's be fun.
Well, and truthfully, another fun part of the movie is like you could pick a single character to track throughout the whole movie, which might in its own way kind of be a fun experience. Yes, you have to watch the movie 6 times, 7 times, but could you imagine like locking on to Miss Scarlet and then just and keeping your eyes on her every single scene, and then being able to like notice, oh, she's not here, or she's looking at this person at this moment.
You know, you guys mentioned when they're running room to room and how some people aren't there and it's intentional or whatever. The only time I noticed it, and I think it's because we were supposed to notice it, is at the end during the runarounds when Wadsworth stays in the study and shows up in the kitchen because he uses the secret passage. They all run. He says, blah, 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 to the kitchen, and they all run out, and he just watches them go and then turns around and goes to the painting.
Yeah.
Is that the only time we actually see someone stay behind, and it because as part of the setup? The rest is all subterfuge.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. Like I said,
the rest you'd have to pick up on it or know what to look for.
Yeah.
Man, you're right, Brandon. Now you're making me want to watch it again.
Yeah.
And then the best part about this movie, even with 3 endings, the runtime's like 80 minutes. It's not a commitment at all.
87 minutes with 3 endings.
So cool.
Let's finish up these actors and then we can move on to some other stuff. So last but certainly not least is Colleen Camp. We started talking about her. Lots of boob jokes in this movie. Like it is chock full.
She played the French maid, and her boobs were definitely out.
Yes.
So,
not forgetting the panty flash.
That's true. Yes, there